Los Angeles, KABC Radio Studio, 11:47 p.m., March 1972. The red light was on. Dean Martin sat behind the microphone in Studio B, headphones loose around his neck, a cup of coffee going cold beside him. This wasn't his usual stage. No spotlight, no tuxedo. Just Dean, a microphone, and whoever was awake and lonely enough to call in at midnight. He'd been doing these occasional radio shows for KABC, late night, call-in format, nothing fancy. Play some records, take some calls, talk to people who couldn't sleep. Most nights, it was harmless. Someone requesting a song, someone wanting to tell Dean about seeing him perform in 58, lonely people looking for a voice in the dark. Tonight started the same way. "You're listening to KABC Los Angeles," Dean said into the mic, his voice smooth and easy. "It's 11:47, and if you're awake right now, you're either working the graveyard shift or you've got something on your mind. Either way, the line's open. 555 KABC. He played Everybody Loves Somebody and watched the phone lines light up. His producer, Jerry, sitting behind the glass, pointed to line 3. Dean pushed the button. "KABC, you're on with Dean." Static, breathing. "Hello?" Dean said. A boy's voice, quiet, shaking. "Hi, Dean. My name is Michael." "Hi, Michael. What's on your mind?" More static. The kid was crying. I wanted to call. I wanted to hear your voice one more time before." Dean sat up straighter. Something was wrong. The way the kid said "before." The finality in it. Dean's tone shifted, still calm, but focused now. "Michael, are you okay?" Silence. "Michael, talk to me. What's going on?" The boy's voice came back, barely a whisper. "Not really, but it doesn't matter anymore." Dean felt his chest tighten. Behind the glass, Jerry looked up, sensing the change. "Michael, where are you right now?" "Home. My mom's asleep. She doesn't know I'm calling." "Okay, that's okay. You can talk to me. What's your last name, Michael?" "Chen. Michael Chen." "How old are you, Michael?" 16? Dean glanced at Jerry through the glass and mouthed, "Trace the call." Jerry's face went pale. He grabbed the phone, started dialing. Dean kept his voice steady. 16. That's a tough age. I remember 16. Everything feels bigger than it is. "I took pills," Michael said. The room went silent. Dean's hand gripped the edge of the desk. "What kind of pills, Michael?" "My mom's sleeping pills. About 10 minutes ago. Maybe 30 of them. I don't know. I wanted it to stop." Dean's mind was racing, but his voice stayed calm, controlled. "Michael, listen to me very carefully. Where are you right now? I need your address." "Why?" The boy's voice was fading. "It's too late." "It's not too late. Just give me your address." Behind the glass, Jerry was on the phone with the police, writing something down, frantically gesturing. 1247 Maple Street, Michael said. "Glendale." Jerry nodded, repeated it into the phone. Dean took a breath. "Michael, I need you to stay on the line with me. Don't hang up. Just talk to me. Tell me what happened." "I'm so tired." "I know. But you called me for a reason. Part of you didn't want to do this alone. Part of you wants help. So let me help you." Silence. "Michael?" "I'm still here." Dean felt a small relief. Keep him talking. Keep him awake. "Tell me about school. What grade are you in?" "Junior. I'm a junior." "You like it?" Michael laughed bitterly. "No, I hate it. Everyone hates me." "Why do you say that?" "Because it's true. I get pushed around, called names. Nobody talks to me. I eat lunch alone every day." Dean's jaw tightened. "Your parents know about this?" "They're getting divorced. My dad moved out last month. My mom cries all the time. She doesn't see me anymore. Nobody sees me." "I see you, Michael." The boy started crying harder. "No, you don't. You don't even know me. I'm just some stupid kid who called your show. You're not stupid, and I do see you. I hear you, and I'm not letting you go." Behind the glass, Jerry held up a sign. "Ambulance dispatched. 8 minutes. 8 minutes." Dean had to keep this kid conscious for 8 minutes. "Michael, tell me about your favorite song." "What? Your favorite song? What is it?" Michael's voice was slurring now. "Everybody loves somebody." Dean felt something break inside his chest. "Yeah? You like that one?" "My dad used to play it, before he left. We'd dance in the kitchen. Me and my mom and my dad. Before everything got bad." Dean's voice softened. That's a good memory, Michael. Hold on to that. I can't. It hurts too much. I know it hurts, but pain doesn't last forever. Trust me. How do you know? Because I've been there. Not exactly where you are, but close enough. And I got through it. You can too. Michael's breathing was getting shallow. Michael, you still with me? Yeah, but I'm really sleepy. I know, but you can't go to sleep yet. Stay with me. Talk to me about something. Anything. I'm scared. I know, but help is coming. Do you hear me? Help is coming. Jerry held up another sign. 5 minutes. Michael, I'm going to sing to you, okay? Just stay on the line. And Dean Martin, sitting alone in a radio studio at midnight, started singing softly into the microphone. Everybody loves somebody sometime. On the other end of the line, Michael was crying. Everybody falls in love somehow. Dean kept singing, his voice steady even as his hands shook. Behind the glass, Jerry was on the phone with the dispatcher, listening, nodding. Dean kept singing. Something in your kiss just told me. He heard sirens through the phone, faint, getting louder. Michael, do you hear that? Yeah. That's help. They're there. They're coming for you. The sound of breaking glass, shouting. Police! We're coming in! Footsteps, more shouting. A man's voice on the line, not Michael. Mr. Martin, this is Officer Rodriguez. We've got him. Paramedics are here. Dean closed his eyes. Is he alive? He's alive. We're taking him to Glendale Memorial. His stomach's being pumped now. Dean exhaled for what felt like the first time in 28 minutes. Take care of him. We will, sir. You saved his life. The line went dead. Dean sat there, headphones still on, staring at the microphone. Jerry came into the studio, put a hand on Dean's shoulder. We need to cut to commercial. Dean nodded, but he couldn't move. Jerry reached over and pressed the button himself. The on-air light went dark, and Dean Martin, who never cried in public, put his head in his hands and sobbed. The next day, Dean walked into Glendale Memorial Hospital at 2 p.m. No press, no cameras, just Dean, alone, asking for Michael Chen's room. The nurse recognized him, but didn't make a fuss. He's in 412, psychiatric evaluation, but his mother said you could visit. Dean took the elevator up. Room 412 was at the end of the hall. The door was open. Inside, a boy lay in bed, IV in his arm, looking small and fragile. His mother sat beside him, holding his hand. Dean knocked softly. They both looked up. Michael's eyes went wide. You came, Dean stepped inside. Of course I came. Michael started crying. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I called. I didn't mean to... Stop. Dean's voice was firm, but kind. You did the right thing. You reached out. You asked for help. That takes more courage than anything else. Michael's mother stood, tears streaming down her face. Mr. Martin, I don't know how to thank you. The doctor said if he'd been alone another 10 minutes... Dean shook his head. Michael saved himself. He made the call. I just kept him on the line. He sat down in the chair beside the bed. How are you feeling? Michael looked at his hands, ashamed, stupid. Everyone at school's gonna know. Everyone's gonna think I'm crazy. You're not crazy. You were in pain, and pain makes people do things they wouldn't normally do. I don't want to go back to school. You don't have to, not yet. You're going to get help, real help, therapy, medication if you need it, and you're going to heal. Michael looked at him, hopeful but scared. You think I can? I know you can. Dean reached into his jacket and pulled out a card. This is my manager's number. If you ever need anything, and I mean anything, you call. Day or night, someone will answer. Michael took the card, staring at it like it was impossible. Why are you doing this? Because you matter, Michael. Your life matters, and I want to make sure you know that. 6 months later, Michael Chen was in therapy twice a week. He'd been diagnosed with clinical depression, started on medication, and slowly, very slowly, started to feel like maybe life was worth living. His parents were still divorced, but his mother was more present now, more aware, and Dean Martin's manager had set up an anonymous scholarship fund for Michael's college education. Michael didn't know it was Dean. Not yet, but he would. Years later, when he opened the acceptance letter to UCLA and the note inside that said, Keep going, DM 1995, Dr. Michael Chen stood in front of a packed auditorium at the American Psychiatric Association conference. He was 41 now, a leading expert in adolescent suicide prevention. The program he'd created, Crisis Connection, was being used in over 500 schools across America. It had saved an estimated 2,000 lives. On the screen behind him, a photo of a radio studio. KABC, 1972. "I was 16 years old," Dr. Chen said, his voice steady. "I'd taken 30 sleeping pills. I called a radio show because I wanted to hear a familiar voice before I died." The room was silent. Dean Martin kept me on the line for 28 minutes. He didn't lecture me. He didn't tell me my problems weren't real. He just listened. He stayed with me. He made me feel like I wasn't alone. He paused, looking out at the crowd. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's survival. And sometimes all it takes is one person willing to listen. The photo on the screen changed. Dean Martin, smiling, microphone in hand. Dean Martin saved my life. Not because he was famous, not because he was a singer, but because he cared enough to stay on the line. Dr. Chen's voice cracked. "If you're struggling, if you're in pain, if you think it's too late, it's not. Call someone, anyone, because your life matters, and there are people willing to fight for you, even if you can't fight for yourself." The room erupted in applause. December 25th, 1995. Dean Martin died on Christmas Day. Among the hundreds of people at his funeral was Dr. Michael Chen. He stood in the back, tears streaming down his face, holding a note he'd written but never sent. "Dear Dean, you told me I saved myself, but that's not true. You saved me. You stayed on the line. You sang to me. You showed me that someone cared. I have spent 23 years trying to be that voice for other people, the way you were for me. Thank you for teaching me that listening can save a life. Michael." He folded the note and placed it on the memorial table with the flowers, and he whispered, "Thank you."